Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we're mailing it in for the 4th of July. My name is Justine Mays. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Goeken and Joe Ferrara.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Happy 4th. Happy 4th. Would you guys typically say, I'm celebrating the 4th of July or I'm celebrating Independence Day, typically?
4th of July for me.
Me too.
4th of July.
Yeah.
Independence Day is when I'm watching the movie.
Right. It's for like the calendar, you know. The calendars say it's Independence Day today, but everyone I do it's the 4th of July. Yeah. I never really thought about that till right now. But
it's the only U.S. holiday that's still had on its actual day. All the other ones now are to make it into a 3-day weekend. You know, President's Day and
Well, people are talking about they want to move this though so it fits on the week. No, it has to be on the 4th.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that they should just make it, keep it on the 4th, and then you just automatically get whatever other time off in between that and the weekend.
All right.
Like if it's on Tuesday.
Because on Wednesday,
off.
So Wednesday would be the ultimate then, right? So you get Wednesday off, obviously. You would get Thursday and Friday as well?
Or Monday and Tuesday, depending on your company.
Well, I guess. Yeah.
Well, my company's even better than that. We get the whole week off.
Why? Really?
Yeah. Well, you know, they, probably 10 years ago, they would give us, like Christmas and Christmas Eve and New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. And they found that 75% of the employees in the U.S. were taking the other days off in between Christmas and New Year's. And so they started enticing you to, like, if you would fill out a survey, they would give you 2 more days off in that week, and then you only had to take like 2 days of PTO, and you got 9 days off. And so they instituted that, and you know, everybody was like loving that, but everybody's like, look, the summer is like a bitch because you got a whole long period of time with nothing, you know, but the 4th of July, and they said, well, what if we just gave everybody the whole week of 4th of July off?
Really?
So. Yeah, so whatever we get the week of 4th of July.
Hold on, Darren McCroy, turn off your radio right now. We're not doing this program. We're not closing down a whole week for 4th of July. No.
Yeah, so they shut down.
Really?
You know, and then they get to save on heating and
heating.
You know,
you're gonna need a lot of heat in the 4th of July.
No, heat in the winter over Christmas, and then air conditioning. You know, in the building.
Okay.
You know, over the summer for 4th of July. So
4th of July, yeah.
And it works out great for me. I mean, they did take a week of my vacation away when they
stripped it away from you.
They stripped it, so I went from 6 weeks to 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But I really have 7 weeks, considering that I have 5 and, you know, the other 2. And I already took that week off anyway, because that's a great summer vacation week.
Summer vacation week, sure.
Yeah, so it didn't hurt me at all.
It didn't hurt you. It helped you.
No. Yeah, it's fantastic.
7, yeah.
40 years ago, when I was in the jewelry business, the whole jewelry industry closed down from the week of Christmas for 2 weeks and also the week of 4th of July for 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Where all these people get all this 4th of July time? I never worked for one of these companies.
You didn't work for Americans.
I need to reconsider.
Americans, damn it.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's it. Joe seems like he'd be a good jeweler. He'd be like good. Oh, that's a moissanite.
It was fun. Except I was held up 3 times. That's when I got out of the business. Oh, yeah.
Did you have a
Joe
piece
with
on
a
you
jacket.
too?
Want to buy a watch?
We had one in the store, and the last time we were held up, the guy pulled out a shotgun, put it in my stomach, a sort of shotgun, and then told my boss, this woman, to take these chains out of the window, and she was bargaining with him which one she wanted to give him. Well, the guy had the gun on me.
Right.
When they ran out the store, I grabbed our gun, ran outside. There were too many people. I just wanted to shoot somebody, and
so you shot her.
So many. Well, I almost did. When I came back in, I said, "If you ever do that to me again, I will shoot you and say they did it." And I quit the next day. I went home and I said, "You know what? It's not worth me being here." A friend of mine wanted to open up a business together, so I went in business with him.
Right.
But it was just not worth my life.
Did you get to look through one of those loops?
All the time, yeah.
Damn. I wanted that job.
I was the type of guy who would
seemed cool to look through those.
You would bring your ring in if it needed to be made bigger or the stone fell out. I was the one who fixed all that stuff.
All right.
And you would use a loop to look at the little things, and it was interesting. It was
Do you still work in jewelry at all?
No.
I want to commission a jewelry piece.
No, I stopped.
I'm looking at commissioning.
It's been 40 years.
Oh, damn it.
After the holdup, I just got out of that business altogether.
Okay. All right. Well, that's too bad. I need to.
I worked in a neighborhood that this is a period back in the 80s, this was, where they were robbing banks, and there was a bank down the block from me that they were there filming, I think, for Eyewitness News, a live spot. And while they were doing the live spot, there were like gunshots. People ran out of the bank. The bag of the money exploded, and all this is on film, being broadcast live.
Right.
My friend who worked in the bank, she was shot at. The bullet went between her ear and her skull. It literally took the hair off of her head, and it was a wild neighborhood to be in.
Okay.
And I couldn't work there anymore. It just was too dangerous, and she was just too willing to like fight over a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about moving?
The store? No, they were never going to move the store. I got out of there, and then they were held up 6 months later, tied in the back.
No,
and
you missed out on that. So
the cops were next door, but they were hitting the silent alarm. But they had just had somebody in there earlier that day who was repairing it, so they thought it was an error. So they never called the cops.
Really?
They put the store up for sale the next day. They were out of there. They had enough.
Wow. Huh.
That sounds like a Lifetime movie as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever have to go to court with somebody who had robbed you? And,
they never caught any of the people that robbed us.
Wow.
No. The first holdup was on the day Reagan was elected, the first time.
Sure.
And they had everybody that worked there in the back, and about 10 customers all on the floor in the back while they emptied out all the cases.
Wow.
And so it was, we had a bomb scare where somebody came in on Christmas Eve and left a shopping bag on the floor, but it was filled with flares that they ignited. And my cousin worked at the store with me, and he was like, this bag is starting to smoke. So we just carried it outside. And I said, call the cops. That was a bomb. So the cops came. They were talking to us. But before they got there, everything got cool. There was nobody in the store anymore. And I look outside, and there's a guy in the bomb outfit, the
hazmat type of thing.
Not the metal one, walking up to the bag to see if it was dynamite or whatever.
Okay.
And then they said, they did this to 5 stores in the area. With the only store that didn't get robbed. They would walk into the store, break the showcase where all the diamonds were, just sweep them into a bag and run out as the smoke took over the store.
Interesting.
It was the Wild West.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. This is the 80s, and people were struggling more than
before. well, we used to work overnight at the grocery store, but we kind of handled all that stuff. We loved when people were shoplifting from us, but it tended to be just teenagers and whatnot. But we'd tackle them and shit. You couldn't do that shit today, man.
They'd sue your ass.
We were heavy-handed, man.
Yeah.
We would tackle those guys and just call because you got the guys stuck in the shelves in the back and they'd all come up and jump on, pile on. we handled our problems internally back then, so yeah, that's how we did it. So yeah,
shoplifting was never the issue. It was holdups and people with phony credit cards.
Phony credit cards, okay. Joe, you said there's something you want to talk about beyond that. What do you got going on, man? What you got? Small?
We're talking about 4th of July, and are you people that host the 4th of July at your house? And has anything crazy happened while you were doing it?
As I've been the host, no. And really, I do it pretty low key. I don't really do fireworks now. I had a cabin, a second home for about 10 years. Did a fireworks show there, but don't do one in St. Louis. A little bit different. And but when I was a kid, I mean, my uncles, would get drunk and do a fireworks show, and they would just light the stuff with their cigarettes and stuff. And every once in a while, they'd get away from them, be like, "Oh, everybody get down!" It was like the world's worst shit. They'd all be drunk and shooting shit, and you're on your lawn chairs, and grandma, and everybody's falling over, and but those were good times. And of course, totally different. My cousin and I would have bottle rocket fights and all that kind of stuff, and but no, nothing like that with me. I host, but it's a small group, so it's like my mom comes over, and that's it. Sometimes my kid if she's in town. That's it though. I barbecue typically. Yeah,
we're not even there. We're always gone.
Mm, yeah,
that's right. You got the week off.
Yeah, I got the week off. I'm camping
right?
somewhere. Yeah, that's one of our big summer. I usually take that since I get that week. Then I take either the week before or the week after. So we have 2 weeks.
No, 2 weeks.
So we can really go somewhere a little bit further.
Sure, that's your big summer trip.
Yeah, take 2 days to get there, and then spend a week and a half, and then take 2 days to get home.
Okay. How about you, Justine? Sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
I said so. I'm usually definitely not hosting, but I'm partaking of whatever party is.
Sure, you're leeching off whatever.
Yeah, yes. wherever we happen to be.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, okay. All right, Justine, how about you? What do you do for 4th of July?
I don't host
a
party. I don't really do a whole lot. I might go over to like a friend's house or
nothing with your parents or anything? Nothing with brother?
No, they don't.
Parents?
No.
It's not their thing?
They don't really do anything.
Not very patriotic?
I mean, they'll go to like the fireworks shows around here or whatever, but I'm probably the only person on the planet that doesn't like fireworks.
You don't like fireworks?
I love them.
So, yeah, I don't. I mean, like, if they're around my house or if they're like, if somebody's having like a cookout or whatever and they're there, I'll watch them. But I don't go to like the big, like the fairground that's in between the cities where my parents live and where I live.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put on like a big fireworks show, but I've been to it a couple of times, but I just don't care for them.
It's not her thing. It's not her thing. Joe, how about you? You asked the question.
We usually have people at our house because within walking distance, there's a park that puts on a big fireworks display. And last year, we had a lot of people over, and all of a sudden, we were swarmed by wasps.
Really?
I was cooking, and I went to pick up the tray that I had cut the steaks on, and I was getting stung all over. Then I'm hearing everybody screaming, and they're coming out of a hole that I never noticed in my garage.
Okay.
So my son and I had like 3 cans of hornet spray. We're just like spraying it. And,
hornets are bad. They're mean.
Yeah.
They're mean.
I probably got stung about 12 times that day.
Yeah.
And everybody else survived. I think one person got stung once, but everybody was running. People were jumping in the pool and staying underwater.
Good times at Joe's. Yeah.
And we finally got rid of them all, but it was a wild time.
Yeah, the guest. That's what
I've already made sure this year that there's
no hornets,
none around the property. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fun stuff, Joe. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think I would probably have to have been taken to the hospital. I bet.
Really, you are allergic to that stuff?
I think I am. Yeah, I think I was 45 before I was ever stung by a bee or a wasp or something. And
quite a charmed life you have.
Yeah, it was pretty nice,
Right.
And it was very irritated for a long time. I got stung like on the inside of my thigh, sitting in a lawn chair. It was just not good. Short shorts on, the whole thing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I got stung 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
4 years ago on our way to North Carolina. We were at an overnight camp spot, and it was the time when they were talking about murder hornets. So I said I thought it was a murder hornet. I don't know what the hell it was, but it stung me on the forearm, right here.
Yes.
In fact, there's still a like
slight
a dot
thing.
there. Yeah.
This is a
but
dot.
but it swelled up almost to my wrist and up past my elbow, and I couldn't hardly bend my arm. It was and it was hard and hot to the touch. I had to do a telehealth. Yeah, it was very hard, stiff and hard.
Hot to the touch.
Yes.
Throbbing, really throbbing.
Yes, throbbing. Yeah, I had to do a telehealth doctor appointment on the phone. It's like showing it to them. They're like, holy cow, that's yeah. And they called me in a prescription to like a local grocery store where we were at, and I went and picked up.
I heard Amazon's getting into this. I can't imagine being like, "Hello, Amazon. I've got the sniffles. What can we do here?"
They're going to be a pharmacy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Well, they're going to have you step on your own scale. Would you mind stepping on your scale, please?
Well, they're going to have you go out in the yard, and they're going to send the drone over you, and they're going to say, "Look up," and we're going to examine you.
Examine, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Amazon's my doctor now. So yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
I need a doctor. My doctor retired.
Because of you, or
no?
Oh
no. She's just old.
She's old. But you're getting ready to move anyway, so you probably would make sense you'd get a new doctor, right?
Yeah, I'll have to get a new one when I get somewhere new.
Right.
For sure. Yeah.
Do you think it's 100% chance you'll be in Indiana, or is it still up there?
I mean, that's where we're looking pretty hard, trying to stay like within 30 miles of where my son is.
Mm-hmm.
So I got somebody
the good son, the one you like.
Just the one that's got a riding lawnmower and can come and mow my yard.
Right. Yeah, that's helpful.
Take care of the place. Yeah, he's a cop, so he's also good at making sure the neighbors are not stealing my shit while I'm gone.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Joe, you asked the question. What do you think?
He just told you.
I just told you.
Well, shit, I get lost in this stuff. I'm in conversation.
About the Hornet stuff.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The Hornets. I mean, what are you going to do? I forgot. So,
Let me tell you another. I made up another story.
No. We're going to stick with that one. What's everybody drinking? I'll go first. I've got Hardin's Creek here, the Golden Origins. Let me remove the belt so I can properly undo that. So that's the belt is now off, and now we can properly open this. So let's see.
Unleashed it.
Yep. Oh, not much there. Not much there. I think I'm going to win this thing, though. We'll see. We're going to make Justine go last because she's 4 for 4 right now. We'll see if she's going for the sweep, the rare sweep. But we'll make her go last, though. So, Joe, you're next.
Got a bottle of Rock Hill Farms.
Okay. That's the leader. That was good. That was solid. That could be enough to win it. We'll see what happens. Goken's next.
Yeah, I've got the Leopold brothers.
You just did that one.
I know, but I told you I only brought 4 bottles with me. I'm not using for the 5th show. I could run upstairs if you want.
No.
Get something to my sons. All right, here we go.
No, nothing there. Nothing there. All right, last but not least is Justine. Joe has the lead right now, but we'll see what happens.
I have some Buzzard's Roost, single barrel rye.
I think that's enough. She got it. Barely. That was her worst cork pop of the night, but I think it was enough to win that one. So Justine does the clean sweep, 5 for 5. Batted 1,000.
Holy cow.
So cheers, gang.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're still mailing it in for the 4th of July. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
It's JP Knobloch. I have nice hair. On the ABV Bourbon Daily Show.
Welcome back. Today on the show, we're mailing it in for the 4th of July.
Yes, we are. So we talked a little bit about 4th of July plans and stuff like that. Joe did some small talk. I forgot about it in the middle of it, and then we finished out the segment. We decided we go to the box, the fate of the box, to get this going. So, all right. The question is: have you ever learned a second language? And if so, which one and why? Anybody? I don't think this group is a second language group.
No.
Another question.
Yeah, I think the answer is no for everybody. And
I'm having trouble with English.
Who took a second language in school? I mean, I took Spanish, but I didn't do anything.
We all did.
Yeah.
No.
I took French in high school. I took
Okay.
3 years of it.
3 years and
I took Italian.
yeah, and some Italian. Okay.
I listened to what's the lady that does the languages? Rosetta Stone. I think it was Rosetta Stone.
Rosie Stone.
Right, yeah. Rosie Stone.
Rosie Stones.
Yeah.
Rosie Stone. Yeah, the wife and I, when we used to ride to work together, we would listen to Spanish because she has a high Hispanic population in her school. And so she was trying to learn Spanish to see when they were talking about her. Right.
Yeah, I always wanted to do that. If I knew a second language, I'd never tell a soul because I'd want to do exactly that. I want to be listening to what they're saying about me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that happened in our house. My brother-in-law, Neil, he's Italian, but he speaks Spanish and Greek fluently. My wife is Spanish. She's from El Salvador. So the first Thanksgiving, we all got together with both families. They're speaking Spanish, and they don't know he speaks it fluently. And their conversation's going on for like maybe 20, 30 minutes, and all of a sudden he's like, blah, 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 in Spanish, and they just like froze. And you can see them like thinking
the
back.
gears are grinding,
Did I say anything that's going to get me in trouble?
Yeah.
And it was very funny to watch that, but I have no aptitude for a second language.
Right, me either. I can't.
I have tried.
You know, yeah. I'll see that.
I always wanted to be good at it because, like, my grandma, she was from Quebec, and so she spoke French, and so that's why I took French in school. But when I was older, I I worked for a road construction company, and there was part of the crew was Hispanic, and they would always speak Spanish around us. And I was just like, dude, look, like, you guys cannot talk Spanish around me unless you teach it to me, because like I wanted to know what they were saying, and they tried teaching me, and it was completely over my head.
Yeah.
They, my nickname, and I can't remember what it is now, but my nickname was whatever the Spanish word for eyelashes is, because
that was your nickname.
Eyelashes.
You have long.
That was that was my nickname. That's what they called me.
Okay, eyelashes. Yeah, well, interesting. You'll see like the Kaplans do that from time to time because they know sign language. They have a child that is deaf, so they know sign language. But every once in a while, it will be like Bourbon's Bistro, and conversation. You can talk and stuff like that. Also, they'll start signing to one another, and I'll be like, "What in the fuck are they saying?"
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's clearly something that they don't want the table to hear, obviously, and I don't know how to read sign language. I wish I did, because they're saying something they don't want the rest of the group to hear, and I want to know what that is. That's what I...
Or they don't want to interrupt the conversation that's going on, but one of them's got to go take a leak, and so they're like, I'm going to go take a leak.
It's disruptive. You look, if all of a sudden everyone's talking, all of a sudden you see two people signing, you do notice it's not like it just flies under the radar. No, everyone is looking then. Yeah. So, all right. Our question of the day here for the show is, what? You can't read it because I can't. Zoom has screwed up my background. I don't.
You got to do this. Put your hand behind it.
I'm not doing that.
Sideways.
You're like, you're an influencer and you're showing whatever you're selling.
Why did it do this to me? Because
have you not seen this before?
No. Blur my background. That's my background blurred. This is my normal setting now. And I don't know, it just started doing this with the last update, where this is now I have a constant blur. So anyway, it is, what is the
You gotta hold it still.
What is your favorite thing about your hometown? What is your favorite thing?
My hometown. Oh.
Your hometown. Okay.
I got a good one.
Well, it could be where you live now. It's whatever you want to declare it as. Your hometown.
Yeah, see, I've been gone from...
All right, Troy, Illinois. What's your favorite thing?
From my hometown for 30-some years now. Longer than I was there, but the
fact you're governed by J.B. Pritzker?
Yeah, same governor. But my original hometown, we had a tradition at Christmas. They brought a Christmas tree. We have one 4-way stoplight, and it's just a flashing light. It's not even like a red, green, yellow light. It's just a flashing red light in the center of town. And they would put a Christmas tree in the middle of that intersection, and had lights and stuff on it. So you had to, kind of go around it like a roundabout.
Okay.
But they still do that.
They still do that. Okay.
That.
That was your favorite thing about the town. That's nice. It's quaint. It's small town stuff. It's cool. Okay. Fair enough. Joe, what's the favorite thing about your hometown?
I just like how it looks, actually. It's, I grew up in Brooklyn and Queens, and we moved up here, and it's mountains and a river. We got the Hudson River on one side, there's lakes, and it's just a really pretty area to live in. And I like the small town atmosphere with things like the park has fireworks displays. They do all these different activities throughout the year. I don't attend many of them, but I definitely show up for all the fireworks every year, and once or twice for some of the other events. It's just a lot of fun. It feels like a small town atmosphere.
Okay. Justine?
Well, my hometown that I grew up in, I don't really care for that much anymore.
Well, it can be where you live now then. That's fine.
My family didn't live there. I would never go back to it. I don't know. There's not really, Holt doesn't really have a town. Like, we don't have like a downtown area.
Right.
That has like little shops and businesses and stuff. But I don't know. I'm close to things that I want to go to. I'm like 3 miles from Target. I don't know.
That's unbelievable. How cool is that?
Wow.
Within 3 miles to Target. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I'm moving there.
They're going to use that in their ad campaign. Move to Holt. You can live within 3 miles of Target. The town
that I grew up in, we had to go 20 minutes in either direction to get to any like big box stores, fast food, like super nice like restaurants or whatever. But now I'm just like just a few miles from all of that. So I mean, I I like that it's convenient. I would never move back into the country ever.
Oh,
Okay.
I want to be in the country.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing about my hometown is there's a lot. I like St. Louis for sure. I mean, I think it's a good place to live. I think that it's kind of fun that we're not the best at anything. It's not the most desirable place to go, so you have to love it. And the people that live there do tend to love it and tend to stick around. But I think I'll throw out the food. I think that the food there is awesome in St. Louis, and if I moved away, that would be definitely something that I would miss is the restaurants and stuff like that. So, but I think St. Louis is overall pretty awesome. But I could also see myself going to a warmer climate in the future. So I don't like cold weather, and not St. Louis isn't super cold, but too cold for me.
It's cold enough.
Yeah, it's cold enough. I want to get warmer, so yeah, I want to head south for sure. Indiana doesn't sound like an appropriate move for me, Jim. All due respect, if I'm going to make the move, I'm gonna do it right. Yeah.
Well,
balmy Indiana. What are you, Jeff and Drizzy?
Yeah. No,
you're gonna go to balmy Indiana.
It's really weird. So we're like 15 miles south of I-64, which goes through St. Louis, but it takes a jog and is a little bit further. But it is enough difference. I don't know that it's the being further south or if it's the further east. They definitely don't get as much snow as we do. And it's usually a little bit warmer here in the winter, like 3 to 5 degrees.
Well, if you throw out this past year, do we really get snow in St. Louis? This year we did. We got some bad snow.
Yeah, no.
I mean, the previous 10 years, we barely got any snow at all.
Right.
Yeah. This past year, we got our ass kicked in 2025 for sure.
We had 2 years in a row when it snowed on Halloween.
Oh, shit. No, that would be the for sale sign. It'd be snowing on my for sale sign because I'd have to get out of there. Yeah. All right. I think we got time for one more. That was a quick one. So let's, I'm going to go again towards near the front of the deck here. I'm going to go pretty early on. Let's see what we come up with here. This will be a quick one. Would you say that you're faster or more flexible?
I'm 69 years old. I'm neither.
I'm neither as well. I'm neither fast nor flexible. I can't touch my toes.
I just had a knee replaced about 3 months ago, so that there's no flexibility there.
No.
I'm an old man.
Yeah. You're just surviving.
I'm flexible.
You're oh shit.
Very flexible.
Well, aren't you lucky?
Yeah.
How old are you?
59.
Give yourself a couple of years.
He's pretty old.
Yeah. No, I have I have an extra vertebrae, and I don't know if that makes me more flexible or not. But I've always been able to I can stand on 2-inch thick phone books, and stand on those two and bend over with my knees locked and touch my hands flat on the ground.
I don't know.
I haven't.
First of all, where are you getting phone books these days? So this makes this questionable to begin with.
He was doing that when he was 17.
Yeah. Because there's no phone books now.
I could put my foot behind my head when I was 17.
Oh, I don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
Shenanigans. Yeah. Yeah. Justine, are you fast? Can you run fast?
I mean, I'm faster than I am flexible, but I wouldn't say that I'm
You're probably fast for your age group, If there was an Olympics of people your exact age, I'd say you're probably pretty good, I would guess. Whereas I don't know if the rest of us, how we'd fare against other people that are our same
When
age.
the starter gun goes off, I'd be waving them. See you guys later.
Yeah.
I never participated in track after 1 year.
1 year, okay.
I used to do a lot of 5K races, and I did a couple of half marathons. But that was a long time ago. That was probably, I think the last one I did was probably before COVID.
Before COVID, okay.
I haven't ran since then.
Okay. I'm gonna
but
go
I was
one.
never super fast. I mean, I think the fastest half marathon I did was 2.5 hours.
Okay.
When that was in Louisville, when there was bourbon at the finish line.
You were running for the bourbon.
That would be me on the 5 mile races that they have, the turkey trots. 2.5 hours later, I'd be coming in.
Yeah. All right, one more question. This comes from the box. What is something that you witnessed before that you wish you could see again? What would that be? Something you wish you could see again? Mm-hmm.
Years ago, I saw a comet go by. Just a fireball across the sky, a comet.
Okay, he wants to see a comet.
Wow.
And it was real fast, just this big ball of fire in the sky going past. That was interesting.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Or is that a meteor, maybe? I'm not a comet.
Meteor or comet. We're not going to call you out on that. So
I don't know what the difference is.
I think
comet
a
has a
comet
tail.
is way up in the sky with a long tail, and they kind of go by.
Keeps going.
This is like debris from something that just is a fireball into Earth. That's a meteor.
Okay, so I'd like to see another one of those. Okay. I mean, I'd like to see another World Series win. I mean, I was there for, Cardinals, seen some of those. But I hadn't, I was, the Whitey Herzog ones, the Tony La Russa ones. My dad always had connections where I could get free tickets to the ball games when Herzog was in charge. And I don't have the ability to get free tickets. I never wanted to buck up and get them or spend an exorbitant amount of money. So I haven't seen a World Series. I'd like to see one more of those. I'd like to see. We're a long way from being a World Series contention, so Cardinals can turn it around and win something. But it might change of ownership might have to be the start of that. They're not exactly spending any money to try to win, so but that'd be fun. I'm trying to think is there anything else that I guess travel stuff. I mean, you can go to some of your best trips. I've been to like the Grand Canyon. I'd like to see that again. I'd like to go back to the Grand Canyon and check that out. Haven't been there in a while.
Isn't that one of the were you very desirable that you wanted to go there when you went? Like, was it something you're like, I'm really looking forward to this? Like, this is like on my list of stuff to do, or were you just like, let's go to the Grand Canyon. We got to see it.
No, I really wanted to see it. Because I'm into that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff too. And
me too.
We took a trip and went to the Grand Canyon. My wife is like typically not into that kind of thing, and she was not super excited to go. And we got there and we walk up to the South Rim and we look over, and it's like the most amazing thing you've ever seen.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if you've seen movies of it, if you've seen the most fantastic pictures or paintings or anything of it. Nothing does it justice.
Seeing it with your own eyes.
Yeah, to seeing it with your own eyes. And she was like mesmerized by it and thought it was, the greatest thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff out that way out west. You get out there and, man, go to the Badlands or Devil's Tower or all those type of things.
I was impressed by the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
How massive that is.
Right. Yeah.
I have not seen that yet. I want to go see that.
Yeah. I've seen that. So, this is incredible.
Along the lines of what you were saying, Steve, I would like to see the Bears win another Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm a big Bears fan.
Yep.
And then something that I saw on one of our Alaskan cruises was the humpback whales bubble net feeding.
Yeah.
Where they're actually like they swim in a circle under the like way down deep and they get the fish all, coming around, and then like there's it's like 10 of them maybe. They all come up out of the water at the same time, and it's just impressive as hell that
cool.
these things just come up out of the water, and their mouths are, as when they're open, they're probably 10 feet across, that they're catching fish with, and it was like you could tell when it was going to happen because the birds are flying overhead, and all of a sudden they're like they group together and they dive to the center of where those whales are coming up because the whales can't get every fish.
Right.
So the birds are diving in to get fish at the same time.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was really cool.
Yeah, that sounds.
I didn't realize how like rare it was either, because the next time we went back to on our next cruise there, we're like, hey, when are we going to see the bubble net feeding? And they're like, oh, you won't see that. That's very rare. I was like, I saw it the last time I was here.
Right.
I paid for bubble net feeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
You got to see something like that. So yeah, that would go on the list for sure. Very cool. Well, Justine, how about you? Anything that you've seen before? You're like, damn, I'd like to at least one more time see that.
So I was able to get tickets to see when Little Caesars Arena had their like inaugural game for the Red Wings.
Yeah.
I was able to get tickets for the second row, and I took my dad, and the look on his face was like, I don't know. It was just like once he saw where we were sitting and like everything that was going on just that whole night was just like, I would like to see that look again on his face. But I mean, he's really, I mean, we go to a lot of concerts together, and I usually try to get like the best seats possible because, you know, he's in his 80s and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I just like doing things with my dad, and like, I don't know. It's just, he's just like a kid on Christmas when you do like cool things like that. And he's never sat that close, and it was like, you know, brand new arena and stuff. So I don't know. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yep, I agree. So there you go. That ended on a good note. That's a positive one for sure. And yeah, we finally got a good question out of our talking points, small talk stuff. So yeah, had a couple stinkers in there, but I felt like that was a good one. It fostered some good conversation. So there you go. We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Joe, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You'll find me at the grill, turning over the burgers and the hot dogs. And I'm also on Instagram at Bourbon_aficionado.
All right. Goeken.
I'm on Facebook at Jim Goeken and Instagram at Jimmy Big Hands.
All right. Justine.
You can find me on Instagram at JA_Maze.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop. If you're ever in St. Louis, it would be a crime if you didn't come by and see us and see what we got going on. You can taste our whiskey. You can try before you buy, and whatever you like, pick up a few bottles. It's fun stuff, and we'll get you some great whiskey for sure. So check us out online, abvbarrelshop.com. Justine, anything else to say before we get out of here?
Would just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. Also, if you like what we're doing, please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theABVNetwork.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
So long.
Adios.
Peace.
Happy Independence Day.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy Festivus.
Justine, you want to do one?
I don't know one.
Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you're in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.